149 pounds. I would like to assume that it's going to be Tyler Kasak because he defeated David Evans in what was essentially became that wrestle off. Jeff, you mentioned that on previous episodes when we talked about it in order to figure out who was going to be the starter moving forward, because both Kasak and Evans were neck and neck. They were very close in terms of their wrestling ability for this season. And then when it comes to the head-to-head bout, Kasak wins 4-2 in that open tournament. So with him also ranked number 12 in the college rankings, the intermat rankings, I imagine that Penn State is going to start him against Ohio State. Maybe there is a blueprint with eligibility that we don't know about, which is why Cael Sanderson was so coy about letting us know who was going to be the starter. But let's get this. Do you think that Kasak is going to be the starter come Friday against Ohio State, Jeff?
I do. I do also, though, think part of what I think, and I don't know this. This is no inside information that I'm providing. But when you are talking about a true freshman and it is that close between he and Evans, I think one of the things that they just want to make sure as a coaching staff is that Tyler Kasak doesn't say to himself, okay, I'm the starter. Objective met, because consistently throughout Cael Sanderson's tenure, yes, you win the spot in the room, but then you have to go out and perform. Now, so we're clear, that doesn't mean Tyler Kasak has to go out and win every match here forward. What it does mean is that he needs to listen to what his coaches are telling him, try to execute the game plan to the best of his ability, and go out and wrestle and compete. And again, just my interpretation is I think this is more about just making sure that Tyler Kasak doesn't feel or misunderstand that because he won that match over Evans, that now it's time to just relax and you're the guy. I think he is the guy. I don't think he will relax. I think he is fired up to compete, but I think that's what I think that it is about. And if he doesn't go out and perform, and again, I want to be really clear about that. Perform doesn't mean go out and win. I don't think if Tyler Kasak loses on Friday nights, all right, we got to get Evans in there. It's about how you compete. It's about the way you are wrestling. When I say perform, I mean wrestling the way they're seeing it in the room, the way you got that win over David Evans, going out and trying to create things. Cael Sanderson will be more than happy if Kasak goes out and tries a couple of things and gets caught and loses. Man, you can go back and work with that. If he loses 4-3 and he doesn't take any shots in the last 30 seconds, that's where you start to have problems with Cael Sanderson. It's like you got to go out and be competing, be trying, and again, trying to execute what they're working on in the room. I don't foresee that being an issue with Tyler Kasak, but I think they do have two really good options, which is an amazing place for any wrestling program to be in, where you lose a national title contender, and there you have two, I think, legit All-American contenders waiting in the wings.
So since Kasak is the presumed starter in this case, at least for preview episode purposes, Kasak and he's not going to get a chance to slack off here because he's going up against a senior and top 10 wrestler, number 9 specifically, Dylan D'Amelio for Ohio State here. So Kasak, is this a teachable moment here, or can the true freshman, defeat the senior in this case, Jeff?
Yeah, I think both. I think win or lose, this is going to be a really important match to get under your belt and to learn from. Obviously, Penn State will tell you that you don't have to lose to learn those lessons. And listen, I think Kasak has a shot here. D'Amelio is really good and, as you said, really experienced. But to some degree, I think Kasak is playing with house money, and I think he can go out and just let it fly. And if he does that, listen, he is talented enough. He is capable of beating just about and maybe anybody in the country. I mean, he has that type of talent. Yeah. I think for him right now, it is about the consistency of effort, the consistency of fundamentals and not getting yourself into a panicky situation when you're in a scramble and those sorts of things. But there's obviously a tremendous upside here to Tyler Kasak. It's about trying to develop it as much as you can here over the next 5 weeks to be prepared for the postseason. And this, again, win or lose, I don't think it's at the end of the day, I don't think that's a huge factor which way that goes. It will be in rankings and seedings. I mean, I'm not saying it's irrelevant, but I think it's much more about Tyler Kasak getting that feel for a guy that is clearly an All-American contender here for Ohio State and understanding, all right, these are the adjustments I need to make moving forward. Again, win or lose here Friday night.